And right there, I believe it was. That lower rock could be its lower jaw. Now stretch your imagination just a little bit further. That slit above the top of the beak could be the hawk's eye, and that slab of rock off to the right, that could be its wing. As it soars across the Wisconsin River. Now, Hawk's Beak is the most famous rock formation in the Dells area. It was even featured on the cover of Life magazine back in 1964. This is also the deepest part of the river we'll go over today. It's right around 40 feet deep here. Hawk's Beak. This is a slow-mo lake area for us jet boaters, so as we troll through here, I'll point a couple things out to you. To the right, that's Dell Creek. That's where the original Wisconsin ducks, the green and white ones, exit the Wisconsin River on their way to Lake Delton for that big duck splash. This is Newport Beach, a public beach and boat launch. It's been a popular spot all summer long. Packed today, but it's a very nice beach. Now, the Wisconsin River starts in the northeastern part of the state, flows for 435 miles until it empties into the Mississippi River about 2 miles south of Parade Machine. Now, the Wisconsin River is an excellent fishery, loaded with walleye, pike, and muskie, large and smallmouth bass, catfish, lake sturgeon, all the different species of panfish, just to name a few. When you're fishing in the Wisconsin River and you get a bite, you can never be for sure what's at the end of your line. I saw some people floating down the river in those yellow tubes. They rented them from the good people here at the River's Edge Resort. They were running people up all day long. It takes a few hours to float down the river. They even rent a special tube that a cooler can fit on, so people can stay hydrated as they float down with water and Gatorade. Once I get by this last pier, I have the green light again. Talk about a few of these rock islands now, starting with the one straight ahead of us. It's called Sugar Bowl Rock. named that by a hot air balloonist in the late 1800s because they said it looked like a sugar bowl from the sky. I don't know about that, but you see those caves and caverns going into Sugar Bowl Rock? Those are called the caves of the Nahuna. Nahuna meaning big, ugly fish. Big, ugly fish they were referencing was the lake sturgeon. You see, the Native Americans would go inside these caves and caverns at night with a torch and a spear. The light of the torch would attract the lake sturgeon up, where they would then spear it. Now, it's my understanding it was a pretty big deal to head back to camp with a sturgeon bigger than they were. You see, the sturgeon in the river can get to be over 7 feet long and weigh 200 pounds. There's probably a couple of them swimming underneath the boat right now. Let's go in and take a closer look at these caves of the Nahuna. Okay, the next two rock islands we'll talk about are coming up here to our left. They're called the Twin Inkstands. There's two identical rock islands lie perpendicular to each other. And the cool thing about these is the one on the left points perfectly north-south, the one on the right east-west, making it a natural compass. Now, all these rock islands are made up of Potsdam sandstone, a very soft, porous, layered rock. As you can see, the trees and other plant life have no problem growing right from it. Now, Potsdam sandstone is very, very rare. It's only found in 4 parts of the entire world. Potsdam, Germany, where it gets its name, Zurich, Switzerland, upstate New York, and for a 10.5-mile stretch here in the Wisconsin Dells area. The final rock island we'll talk about today is also the most famous straight ahead. It's Ishnala, Lone Rock. The cool thing about Lone Rock is it's almost completely hollow inside. It's got 4 cave entrances that all lead to the center, and that center cave is called Sweetheart's Cave. Now in a moment we're going to be able to see all the way through Lone Rock. Some people say this hole looks like a teardrop, maybe an upside down heart. I'll let you decide, but once you're able to see all the way through Sweetheart's Cave, if you happen to be sitting next to your sweetheart, it is good luck to give them a smooch. Now, the Native Americans used to hold wedding ceremonies on the top of Lone Rock. where their friends and family members would watch from the river below in their birchwood bark aluminum canoes. People still camp in Sweetheart's Cave, and there's actually 2 known celebrities that each time they come to the Dells, this is where they stay. It's Shrek and Fiona, of course.
South as we go today. Once you get by this buoy, it just gets really shallow. Those ripples to the left are actually rocks. A couple 100 yards down, all of us, even the kids, could walk all the way across the river here. But this is pretty much what the Wisconsin River looks like, all the way down to the Mississippi. Lots of green, not very wide, lots of sandbars. Nowhere else is it anywhere near as deep as it is as it runs through the Wisconsin Dells area. Now that being said, we could probably still make it to the Mississippi. Might have to jump a dam or 2. We only need about 2 feet of water when we're running at full speed. Our problem would be is if we had to slow down in the shallows, I need about 5 feet to get going. Otherwise, the jets just pick up sand and then we don't go anywhere. So we're going to start heading back upriver. You're probably pretty glad to hear that I'm pretty much done talking. I still need you to hold on tight. We're going to see what kind of trouble we can still get into, okay?